जय श्री माताजी। आज के सामूहिक ध्यान सत्र में उपस्थित सभी सहजी भाई बहनों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। ध्यान की शुरुआत कुंडलिनी चढ़ा के बंधन लेते हुए करेंगे। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। श्री माताजी, हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिएगा। पूरा चित्त हमारे सहस्त्रार में ही रखेंगे। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति को बरकरार रखते हुए हम अभी श्री माताजी की अमृतवाणी ग्रहण करेंगे।
We had a very good session, I should say, and a very successful trip in Portugal, and even better in Spain. Portugal is a place where gurus have touched very nicely, because people are too simple, I think. And because they are too simple, they are affected too hard. And I was really confronted with so many sick people there who have been to gurus, who have been only for 2-3 years with that, are badly affected. And surprisingly, how the whole thing is exposed, that we may be able to do much better in Portugal. Now the Portuguese people get a lot of wine, they drink a lot. They really drink. I mean, they have all kinds of wines in their country. It's a very big problem of that place is it has many wines. And I think the drunkenness make them extremely lethargic. And that lethargy brought down that empire. You can see it's a very huge place. I mean, the buildings, if you see, are very beautifully done. Lots of buildings with lots of architecture. And all that is like a desolate place. The reason is the people who were at a time quite affluent, were doing well. Gradually, unemployment started settling down. Lots of strikes, just the same thing as I feel is happening in this country. And unemployment and amounting to starvation. First they used to get doles and all that as we get here. Gradually it stopped. Now it's so bad that all of them have to depend on their parents. There's no way. They have no source of income. Very few industries. It's one of the poorest country in the whole of Europe. That made me think about England. That we have to know that this country also may face a phase if we do not get up now. You see, it's all right to divert your attention to Falkland and all that, but it cannot feed you. So we have to understand, all the Sahajogis must understand, that they all must have some sort of a degree or something on the paper. That's a very important. And though you are all realized souls, and you are spiritually so endowed, everything is there. But you have to think of the whole. If the country completely goes down in its production and its capacity to activate itself, you will go down too. So your attention should be now, of course you should not be materialistic, but towards putting more activity into you, even in Sahajayoga, in meditating, in working it out in yourself. So lethargy is not going to pay. And this is one thing, is such an inertia that exists, that unless and until you really put in complete willpower, this inertia may not be combated, may be very difficult, of a very dangerous time. And means you have to be patriotic about it, and you have to think about it. After all, you are symbols of the English people. Whatever works out in you will start working out in the rest. So how you behave towards yourself and towards the general atmosphere is very, very important. Now towards Sahajayoga also, the attitude has to be understood very clearly. You see, like a Maharaja in India, who lives in quite great comfort, first of all, lives like a lord, and he orders about, you see. And then everything is lost. But still he talks like a lord, he behaves like a lord. His whole thing is the same way. Though it's not that the kingdom is there, that he is the ruler, but he'll talk like that to everyone, because the habits are formed. I think the mind also has formed the habit. The whole atmosphere is charged with such ego since long. And that's why towards Sahajayoga also the attitude has to be humbler, much humbler. Because without humility you cannot do. That's one thing you must understand. It's no question of you rationally saying something about it or explaining about it. But you see, basically, one has to be extremely humble. First of all, it's a very big privilege to get realization. You know that. It's a greater privilege to go in it. And it's the greatest to be a Sahajogi. It's a very great privilege that you have, which very few people have. And you are the ones who are chosen special. But the humility part of it is still missing about Sahajayoga. About Sahajayoga. Like we should ask, make me a better Sahajayogi, a humbler Sahajayogi, a compassionate Sahajayogi, a sweeter Sahajayogi. Dissolve my. This is very important, we must understand. Because whatever works out in you will work out in this country. Arrogance is something that with ego you can never understand you have been arrogant. The way you talk to others, the way you behave towards others, you will never understand because there is ego. If you are standing in the darkness, the light is there, but it is covered with something. How will you understand where is the light? So humility must be there because you people have very developed brains, very developed, overdeveloped brains. And that brain can, you see, always tell you, you're better than another. You see, always. The another one is no good and the third one is useless. See, you're the best. That's typical of the brain teachings. And when it starts working out, it's very difficult to see that the one who is saying this is nowhere. Because from the point where you see, you cannot see what you are saying. What you see is the whole thing as if you have to command it. You have to ask for it. Of course, the quality is very much changing now. Everybody is becoming very, very, very sweet and sober, and nobody now demands anything from me. Like, you must give me this, mother, you have to do it, you have to look after me. After all, I have been to your Caxton Hall once, you see. And how dare you do not look after my mother when she met an accident? Something like that. That's over now. That's over. The quality is improving now. One has started learning now how to laugh at your own ego and this and that. But I personally think that one has to realize that if you represent this country, to your mother, then it has to improve still. Still I have to improve. I have to go ahead. I have to go further with it. And I have to develop that beauty of humility. Like in Portugal, they told me, Lord Byron, whom I think to be a useless fellow, absolutely good for nothing, and I regretted every minute why he was created on this earth. He went and said, thank you. He went and said, Sintra is a very beautiful place. Sintra is too good to be wasted on Portuguese. It should have been for Mr. Lord Byron, whosoever he may be. Just see, tip him. And it pinches everyone, everybody feels. But think, if you are the person about whom it is said, this is called all right. So one has to develop a kind of a humility that I have to still receive. Come forward, come forward. I have to still get it. It has to work out. Now, when it comes to that kind of an attitude, then you turn round. Turn round upon yourself. What have you done for Sahajayoga? One question. Simple. What have you done for Sahajayoga? How many people have you given realization? How many people have you been able to cure? How much peace have you got within yourself? How much blissful are you? How much compassion have you got? How much forgiveness and patience you have for others? How much of sharing you can do? These are the signs of Sahaja-yogis. That you break your shell, you become the collective. How much do you understand others? And how much do you understand giving others? What have you given to others, even on material level? Let's see. These questions should be put to yourself. On a very material level, these questions are to be asked. On a very material level, because the light comes down up to material level. How many people you can forgive? You are realized soul. You are prophets, no doubt. You can make others prophets. But you have to be the quality also. The quality of a prophet is his nobility. He's so noble. The nobleness. In comparison with other people who are not realized souls, he is nobler. He is more dignified. He is much more forgiving. So the whole way of dealing with others will change. He is obedient. We have to obey in Sahaja. We have to obey our good will. Otherwise, you are difficult people. It's impossible. Nobody can do anything to you. If you are like a thorn, how can anybody help you? So the quality of a Sahajogi is measured by another kind of a measure. It's not the way human beings measure the quality of other human beings. Like somebody has a good taste, for example, so-called. Then people say, oh, he's great with a good taste. Or if he has a big car, oh, he's a big man. Or he talks like that, or he walks like that, or says this, that, and all those things. Or a question like this, why did you say like that? All these words, that they sound very hard to me. Why do you do like that? This kind of a language itself was not there in this English language. Nowadays the language is so changed and very rude, very arrogant, and very harmful. So first ask yourself, because Sahajayoga will spread, of course, slowly and steadily, I hope, only through your images. You are the reflectors. You put my thousands of posters. I'm so unique, They'll say, all right, this unique personality is taken out. No good. What about the disciples? So, actually, whatever is in the lower level animals is important. Like in lower level animals, the king is the one, say the tiger, has to kill an animal, big animal. It is he who only can kill. Till human stage also perhaps it is so. The one who can really dominate others, survival of the fittest, is the rule. Is the other way around now. It's changed completely. How much free you are in your ideas, or you are still identified with old ideas. But free doesn't mean abandonment by any chance. Freedom means you respect the freedom of others. First and foremost thing of freedom is that you must respect the freedom of others. Even God respects your freedom. He cannot give you realization if you don't want it. You cannot force it. So respect the freedom of others. But that does not mean while respecting the freedom of others, there should be abandonment. If somebody is abandoned in Sahajayoga, he goes out of the circulation of Sahajayoga. It's not coming in. So important, I have told you 100 times. It's the throwing out part of it, you see. Sometimes I feel I should give you some glues to stick on. Maybe the wheel can turn very fast and some of half-baked may be thrown out back again into the oven. So, I feel in these countries where I went, Spain, they call it Spain still half developing, Portugal developing. I don't know what you think about Italy, whatever it is called. Very humble people. Very humble from the very first day. Anyone who comes from the very first day, they are very humble, and because they are humble, they are sensitive to me. Because you have to be really very humble to be sensitive to me. That's a fact. Because I am too simple, naive, as if I do not understand anything. I look like that. As if I have no knowledge of anything. Very simple woman, talks in a very simple way, is very friendly. All right. So to understand me, you have to be extremely humble. And if you cannot go to that level of humility, you cannot see. And you cannot understand. And the more you start understanding, the more humble you will become, naturally, because you know what it is. So, I've told you many times about humility part of it, but my experience of these countries was, where I went there, they're very humble people, very humble. About Sahajayoga, extremely humble they were. Even the new people were very humble. Spanish people, same thing, extremely humble. You see, Don had told me that they have an ego of a bullfighter, but the one who came this time was so humble, I was amazed. Even if I could touch them, that was sufficient for them. Nobody pulled my hand, nothing. So this is what it is. One has to understand that we have certain tags of our past, which has to go down. The language should be extremely humble language. Try to read. I don't know whose language is so humble. Maybe mine. I don't know. But try to read books where people speak humble language, humble way of talking. You'll enjoy it. Really enjoy it. Humility is the glory of such yogis. It's the only way they will grow. It's like putting your roots down and down and down. The people who went from here were themselves amazed at the humility of the people who were there. Very much amazed. The way things are working out there, the way they helped us and did everything for us. And I'm sure now in Spain we'll have a very nice, very nice center. Of course, the ambassador is a very humble man, you know him, too humble. And he might be coming here, and one day I want to call him here to the ashram also. He and his wife will be here. So the ambassador was very sweet, and he called to me to his house, invited, and he had a nice tea party. He called Indians and everything. And Indians were, they asked me for one thing. It will be shocking. They said, "What about something to depend upon? See, can we have your photographs or something? It must be having some vibrations. Should we use your photographs for our worship?" And the first I said that it's all right, it will work out, because I didn't want to say you to take my photograph. So she was so disappointed, the lady. She said, "No, there must be a photograph, so something which we can use after all. How can that be?" Just a minute. And here, first thing comes up like a big snake. Why mother's photographs? She should give us realization. She should solve our problems, solve our sickness, everything. But why her photograph? This is too much. In this, you can see the ego of the people. So sweet. Now regarding ashram, I had asked him to make certain rules and regulations. And I must say that, of course, Nick should say things as somebody told me that he should have been a little softer with it and all that. But supposing somebody is not softer also, you must know that this is sent by mother and you must do it. You see, actually when you say no to him, you are saying no to me also, isn't it? Because I sent him, I told him. And I told him that you must carry out these things. If you do not allow him to carry out, he has to be perhaps strict. By softer means supposing something fails, then what to do? But I really don't know. After realization, even if you do not do things, what should we do? Can you suggest? I mean, you should respect everyone. But say, even if you respect people, get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, then what should we do? What should be done? You just tell us. John? Tell me. I mean, it is really surprising. You are now prophets. Do you understand your quality? What are you? What have I given you? Then what should we do about it? See, these are so simple things, like children also. If you are in a hostel, you are made to get up in the morning, take your bath, get ready, walk out. I mean, if you do not listen, anyone, I mean, it's simple. Then what should one do? with prophets. You just tell. This is not the problem in Australia. But Englishmen going to Australia create problems. I have seen. Sally, what a problem, Bapre. You could see in contrast her ego, absolutely in contrast. I could see her clearly. Very egoistical. Though she said that she was in, what place she was in? Jersey. And their boots caught her. But all the boots were egoistical. That's the point. Such a contrast, If you have to move as one body, and you are enlightened, part and particle of the same body. Supposing this finger says, no, I will not do it. Now somebody is, say, putting a big attack or something, and this hand says, no, I will not work out. Then what to do? Actually, it's a very big dilemma for me. Because a hand which is forced to do it will never do it properly. If you don't force it, then what happens to that hand? I mean, just see, the diligence is very important. We should not take things for granted. You see, we take ourselves for granted, everything for granted is not proper. We have to work hard. We have to work it out ourselves. You see, even if you have 10,000 surgeons, say, what is going to happen? The quality is so poor there, isn't it? You have to get up in the morning, do it meditation, you have to grow. You have to grow still much more. And you are so very few. I have to use you only. Of course, nobody can force you. And even if you force, a forced labor is not going to help in Sahajayoga. That is, you take it wrong. It cannot. So these people are where do they stand? Now, anyone you tell the job, say Warren was in Australia. There was jealousies about it, terrible jealousies. Why should he tell me? But because there's nobody to tell you within yourself. That's the problem, is it? So that which is sleeping, I put it into one man. All right, this man is going to tell. But then that person tells you, then people feel jealous. I mean, these are not the signs of a prophet. A prophet is never jealous. Because he knows he has achieved his powers now. He is in his own power. And his power is of surrendering. It is not of overpowering. You see, you cannot see the other side of it. You think power means you sit on somebody's head, then I am very powerful. Like a woman, if she can make her husband dance to her tune, then she thinks, oh, I am the most powerful woman ever living. It's the other way around. That the woman is so loving that husband can't do without it. That sort of a power. She's so sweet that the husband cannot manage without her. That sort of a power should be the power of a prophet. And these things are very much deeply put into us. So face it up and take it up. Whole value system is upside down. I tell you, the whole value system is upside down. See my life, own life. As a wife of such and such and such, I'm expected to go into diamond shops, buy diamonds, become a big lady with heels like that, and walk with a neck like that, and do all sorts. I mean, this is the normal. It's expected. And shout at the chauffeur, and shout at the servants, and shout at everyone, and behave in that manner. I mean, that's what it is, the power is. You see, that's how the women express their husbands' positions. But the other way around is the situation of a prophet. The prophet asserts its powers through love. How much can you hate me? I love you double. Always. Whatever you will hate me, I'll love you double of that. Then what will happen? But to love, one has to sacrifice. One has to give. One has to bear. Love doesn't hang in the air. That's one thing people don't understand. Love is not only talking love or if you are a little gentle to someone is not the point. But even that bearing is a joy because ultimately you are doing it for love. If love is the joy-giving thing, then that bearing is not much. You are doing it for love's sake. See, because love, unless and it is shared, you cannot enjoy. So first we have to be strict with ourselves, I think, will be a good idea. And loving to others. That may be the way we might work it out. By God's grace, we have a very nice place as an ashram. We might get even better places. You are the God's own blessed people. No one can believe that we could have such a nice place. But what are we willing to do for it? That's the point we should say. Don't take things for granted. I must warn. I know England is the heart. But in God's realms, one can create many hearts. Not so difficult. So more harmony should be brought in. Even you'll be surprised in France. It's so harmonious and so beautiful. Find faults with yourself all the time. Now, under certain circumstances, I have to appoint somebody. Like I would say, very personally, I would say Nick, because Nick is doing no job now. He's quite a systematic person. He's all right. This thing. He has some problems, I know. You too have problems, all right? But he's the one available today. And he's the one who is going to do it. Take one case. Now you must understand why mother has appointed somebody, all right. Accept it. Because there's a big dance on. They are trying to entertain. You see, look at this dancing. They are feeling the tenseness of the situation. So trying to entertain. That's it. That is love. See, they want to relax. They want to relax. They want you to feel nice, to be joyous. Look at them. In the same way, we should do. I'm sure now, henceforth. I think best thing is to make some poems. That may be a solution. All right? Let's see. And let everybody start writing poems. It will be a good idea. And that will work out. I'll sing the song of praises. It's very little way. Just a very little way. Just there in your heart. Besides the source of all the beauty. It's just turn your face towards that. That will work out. I'm sure it will work out. It's not very far away. Let her also stand there, she'll enjoy. Now another point was that you are going to go to that peace mission or something. What? Peace, what is that supposed to be?
Peace Festival was it?
No, in Brighton you
This
are...
one is Peace Festival.
Peace Festival. Alright. And I am told Kay has written an article about it. Peace is... You know that peace is nothing without, it is within yourself. And if you can feel your peace, then only you can start feeling peace for others. Sahajayoga is the only way. There's no other way. You see, at the level of, say, take the position of Falkland now. Let's see, Falkland Island is a very immediate problem. Now, at that level, there's no solution. There's no solution. They are quite justified in attacking back Falkland because these people were illegally there. Because that's not a democratic country. They have destroyed so many people of their own. So English were justified. Of course, my all support was for them because they were correct on the justice point. That's true. But justice is little half-baked. Because for whom to fight? These unrealized souls. Their right for what? Even if you have democracy, if it is democracy, what is the use of having democracy? I mean, if through democracy you are creating only demons, it's demonic reign, then what's the use of having democracy also? What about this so-called communism also? All stupid people, to my eye, everybody is stupid. And they cannot achieve anything at that level. You can say a little bit, yes, correct. After all, you see, that was the people were there under democracy. These people should have gone because they have killed so many people already in Argentina. They have no business. And of course, despotic law is absolutely against Sahajayoga. So, democracy is the best suited, no doubt. We have to support democracy. But even democracy for what? Why to have democracy? To have the higher freedom. If you cannot have higher freedom, and it just means abandonment, you see, democracy means that an old man can marry a young girl and all sorts of nonsensical things, then better not to have. So democracy is only suitable to people who are dharmic, who have established their dharma. Otherwise, you really need a communistic country which will settle down your dharma first, to evolve out of it. But people think that democracy is for ruining your dharma. You have freedom to ruin your dharma as you like. You see, what's wrong? It's a very, you see, you cannot say, it's a dilemma again. I don't know which way to go. It's another dilemma. So to end up the dilemma, you have to talk to people. That though it might be justified at this time, say Falkland thing, aggression is for peace. Because next time they won't do such a thing again. It's really for peace. Because next time such a thing they may not try, these despots. And there are all these Germans have gone and settled there. So it's a good thing. But still, it's not peace. It has killed a lot of people. This thing has happened. Why? Because people are not realized. Come in. Come inside. There's a lot of space here. Move on. So all those people who come first should come on this. Can you move on this side? You're all standing there. So all these political institutions are a big joke without realization. They are not yet fully human beings. They are not fully developed because they have not found their spirit. You must find your spirit. Unless and until you have found your spirit, no problem is going to be solved. Once your problem is solved, that is to find your spirit. All other problems are solved. How now? What will happen? Let's see. What will happen if we establish a kingdom of the realized souls? Let's hear the scholar. What should happen? Of course, everybody will get up early in the morning. No doubt. Apart from that, that's the most difficult thing. Tell me. Whatever you say will happen. So that's what I'm asking.
Nobody will attack such a state.
Huh?
Nobody will attack such a state.
There won't be any states. You see, God has not made any states. It's a madness. I tell you, when I was born, I was, oh God, what has happened? See, God has not made any one of these things. It's a very different thing than what, you see, I expected. You see, God has made a beautiful land, all right, like this one sari like that. Now, you have to have some design pattern. So, He made some beautiful mountains and some nice, you can say, areas, and some are deserts, some are, you see, to create the whole system, if you see, has worked out in such a way that you have equator and you have the sun there, so the winds start moving. You see, it's all created so beautifully. So you have different types of countries and different types of places. Now, after creating that, human beings, stupid as they are, they divided themselves. I mean, it is stupid. I tell you, really, there is no need to divide like that. So they created states. There was no need to create a state. But you see, it happened like this, that in the beginning they created state because they wanted to have a, what you can say, a hut to protect themselves, then a village, then a city, now a state. Now, after state, what is the next situation? The whole world. Collective. This is the breaking through. Is one word. It is. I believe it. To me, it's nonsense to see it in so many. I can't understand walking in the, this customs and all that, carrying your passport, that criminal number so and so. And apart from that, you carry your photograph, and then there are so many things. My by the way, my passport is completely filled now. I have to get another one. It's like that. You see, everywhere you go, you look like a criminal. They look at your face and then they stamp you. All right, you are stamped. Go ahead. It's terrible. It's undignified. Absolutely. That means, human beings have no dignity left in them. I mean, this land doesn't belong to you at all. This land of God. You are of God and the land is. Nothing belongs to you actually, to be very frank. I'm sorry to say. It's true. So what is a state? It is stateless. But stateless also means there is state in it. I say this is one word. This is, has been, is, and will be. I mean, you may, in your myth, you see, hallucination, think it is different and fight. I sometimes feel you are just fighting your shadows. This is you have created shadows and the shadows are fighting. And just to make the shadows fight, you fight, otherwise shadows won't fight. It's all a shadow. There's no truth in it. To me, it looks like that. It's all madness. What is there to fight? This is one world. Everybody is blessed by God. They all should enjoy His blessings. To enter into the kingdom of God. He is the king. He is the one who is the ruler. In His kingdom, there is nothing like a state. So that's a very different world we are entering into. There are no alternatives there. There's only one absolute state of mind where you become a spirit. That's all. There's not going to be any aggression. It's stupid to be aggressive. There's not going to be any separation. stupid to do that. Nobody is going to be suppressed and nobody is going to take any suppression. Everybody. Why? Do you find that in the nature? Nobody does that. It's a harmonious living in the nature, even in the animal kingdom. See, they know that a tiger has to live on an animal. It's all right. That cattle has its own life, finished. Even they can understand the need, but human beings don't. Their need is of spirit. And spirit actually hates aggression. It cannot, even if it wants to, it cannot. It's indignified to aggress anyone for a spirit. Indignified, absolutely, it is wretched. So that is what it is. That we'll all enjoy love of God, His blessings. And all our limitations will drop off. So-called bhuts, as you call them, will all run away. It's a very different atmosphere of reality. This is all unreal. It's absolutely unreal. It's an illusion, I tell you. Because you know that Brahma, these divine vibrations, are doing everything. They are working out everything, even material things. Everything they can achieve. Apart from that, they give you that source of joy which takes you onto that atmosphere where you exist and enjoy. All the illusions created by human beings will drop out. This is all illusion. Believe me, it's all illusion. There is no truth in it at all. But through illusion, you can work out. It's a very interesting thing that only through illusion you can work out. Because when I'm talking to you, I have to keep an illusion of being here. Otherwise, you won't pay any attention, you won't see me, you won't know me, you won't talk to me. So you have to have an illusion. But I know this is illusion. That's all. Living in this world, in this illusion, if you know it's an illusion, that's done. You are going to be tomorrow's citizens. No doubt. Of a very high level quality. And a day will come when they will have to jolly well consult us. Already you have seen how I am playing tricks on the US. Did you hear the way the lady made mistakes, the stupid things? Did you find that? I saw her photograph and I said, oh, this stupid woman, she just raised her hand. Now they are realizing, they don't know what happens to them. Suddenly how they go amok. They'll all go amok. And then they will have to find out how they should be controlled. What has happened, how did it happen. All these tricks one has to play with all of them. Now, after the last war, perhaps, people may not come out with very aggressive words, perhaps, maybe, because it would be unpopular. But they'll do such stupid things to prove that they are good for nothing. All this can be done. But you must know it's an illusion, all of you, because you are different things. You are seeing through different eyes. You know what is Brahma is. So you must know. And raise your quality. Raise your quality. In normal life, supposing, you see, like I'll say that somebody is a peon. Then he dresses up in a particular way. Then he suddenly becomes an officer. Then he becomes a different style. As he walks in a different way, his gait changes, style changes. So now you have become prophets. So whole thing has to change. Either you don't accept this position, but if you are accepted this position and you are paid for it, then better be that. I mean, you can't dress up like a peon if you are an officer, can you? And it's all illusion, complete illusion. The whole thing is an illusion. All these kings of yours and queens are like dolls there before me. Especially Mr. Pope, who came here. My grandson says, Mr. Pope came here. I said, Pope? He said, I'm sorry, pork. And he was talking all rubbish. I said, how do you know? Because all his chakras were catching. And he's supposed to be the Pope in charge. Now, Bishop of Canterbury. See, he's another funny man. I've seen him on the thing. He was agnostic about everything. I don't know, about Christ also maybe. He said, I'm agnostic. Any question you ask him, I'm agnostic. It's a very good escape he has got. You see, he's agnostic of about everything because he said it's a mystery to me. So what are you doing there? I mean, if it's a mystery to you, you are agnostic. I mean, I just don't understand how is he there. So some people have taken up upon themselves this crusade, I believe, to talk to you. I mean, how can you talk to your shadow? Can you? So the people live in the shadow state. And you should not symbolize yourself as shadows. You should symbolize yourself as reality and look at them as shadows. See? In a way, in a very dignified way. Oh, this is a shadow, Just pity them. But not an aggressive way, but have compassion about them. Say, no, sir, this is not so. You are sadly mistaken. This is the shadow of life. The whole Christianity is doomed because they started running after shadow. This Mr. St. Paul, I don't know how he came into Bible. Now you are a theologist, you tell me, John. How did he enter? I mean, anybody who says he saw Christ, is he supposed to enter into the Bible? How did he? I mean, his sayings and his words and his letters are regarded as the letters from the Bible. After Christ. Before Christ is all right, but after Christ.
अब हम निःशब्द ध्यान में रहते हैं। दोनों हाथ जोड़ के श्री माताजी के प्रति आभार व्यक्त करते हैं और प्रार्थनाएं अर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आज का सामूहिक ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों में समर्पित करते हैं। आज के ध्यान में आपने हमें निरानंद प्रदान कर हमें चैतन्य से आशीर्वादित किया, इसलिए हम आपके हृदय से ऋणी हैं। संपूर्ण विश्व में विश्व निर्मल धर्म प्रस्थापित करने हेतु कृपा कर हमें सहयोग प्रचार प्रसार का शुद्ध एवं प्रभावी माध्यम बनाइएगा माँ। हमारी सभी प्रार्थनाओं का स्वीकार कर हमें आशीर्वादित करने की कृपा करना माँ। जय श्री माता जी। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। आज का ध्यान केंद्र संपन्न होता है। जय श्री माता जी।